He'll drain that old swamp, just like he said.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. It's a Monday morning. Let me see. September 22nd. You still have a couple days to do that shopping. Hopefully some of you are done. That would be good. Get some of it done. The phone lines are open 928-344-5258. A mock funeral was just held for the penny, which I found interesting. Yeah, the pennies in it. I just for all of you that have jars of them at home, I guess it'll be in circulation for quite a while. I don't know. They're kind of a nuisance. But they held a funeral, or some people that were just upset about it. They held it at Abraham Lincoln Memorial, which is, I guess, appropriate since Lincoln's on the penny, or at least many of them. Not always. I mean, they actually came into being early on, or why he was. We say it came in. I mean, the current penny came into being. The current. I mean, the penny was authorized during the Coinage Act, 1792, but it was a bigger version of the penny we have now. They redid it in 1857, and obviously in 1792 it didn't have Lincoln on it. So 1857, and it was made of 100% copper and all that. And I know people are upset about it, like after round two, I guess. They had actors out there. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Wilkes Booth, the assassin. Santa Claus is out there and all that stuff. They did it on December 20th. According to this article, it says rising costs, production costs, now cost 4 cents to make a penny. I would think that if we had took all the pennies that are gathered in buckets and closets around our house, in our houses, I'm assuming a lot of people have pennies they've just thrown in a box. We probably could make it many years without having to take them out of circulation. I imagine they'll be in for quite a while. But Donald Trump announced the plans to halt the production of the pennies, early. He said, for far too long, the United States has been in pennies, which literally cost us more than 2 cents. It's 4. Yeah, he's right. It's more. This is wasteful. I've instructed the Secretary of the U.S. Treasury today to stop producing new pennies. So I looked at it because I knew there used to be a half cent in the United States. We used to have a half cent. And the half cent was canceled in 1857. It also was authorized during the same time the penny was, 1792, because, a penny was too big a coin. They needed a half of a penny back then. So I looked at this, and it went away in 1857 when they redid things. They shrunk the penny that was kept, the 1 cent. They got rid of the half cent. So that was quite a while ago. And it lasted a long time. The half cent didn't last near as long. So I looked to see what a penny was worth. If you had a penny in 1857, it'd be worth 37 cents today. So a half cent would have been worth 18.5 cents. But they canceled it way back when in 1857. So it's probably best that the penny goes away. We probably don't need it. I hate to think most everything going to digital, but that's a fact. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Russ, I'm in Imperial Valley.
Good morning.
Fernando.
Yeah, Fernando.
Hey, I had a dream the other day.
Uh-oh.
I dreamed that Trump was El Zorro, and he was fighting the Democrats, and he always won the dueling. And the best one was Newsom. He just popped him up.
Well,
he never lost, like the movie says, he never lost a dueling match.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think he's losing many now in real life, politically.
No, he's not losing.
Yeah.
He's 100% winner.
Oh, pretty close. I mean, the left points out all
No,
the lawsuits he's
all
lost, but they get overturned.
all the wins, the Democrats are always he's losing. He's a loser.
Yeah, I know. And they have been since day one. Um, been saying that, but I think his foundation's staying pretty strong. It's kind of amazing, when he's president that he hasn't lost the base. Because some of it gets disillusioned. I thought it'd be different or something, but
Yeah,
he's staying strong with the base. Yeah, in this term. So
yeah,
that's pretty amazing. Pretty good.
yeah. I know it is. Yeah, he's doing the same right thing to do.
Yeah.
That's what Biden didn't do. That's why he's a loser, and his son too.
Well, all right. So you all ready for Christmas? I mean, you're over at Imperial. Are you doing shopping today or something?
No, my deal in my bag is I used to live in El Centro.
Oh, you still live in El Centro? Okay.
No. I have all my clients.
Oh, your
Burbank.
clients live in
Remember
El
I'm
Centro. Yeah.
commercial salesman,
Right.
and they still call me for tires.
All right. When you get up at 6 o'clock, you're already over there, man. That's good
I get up
service.
at 4. I get up at 3 or 4 in the morning
Good for you. Now,
every day.
I was down in Somerton this weekend. I didn't see you, but I
No, I don't go to those places.
was down there on Main Street because they had the big tamale festival.
I know the tamales. I know.
Yeah.
The reason I don't go is my wife makes exquisite tamales. Why would I go down there and buy tamales?
Yeah.
That's $5 a tamale.
Well, it's 3. It was 3, but you're right.
Oh, with 3?
Yeah, it was $3 a tamale.
Oh, still,
Yeah.
I prefer my wife.
I don't blame you. Yeah, definitely support that. But it was fun. They had music and
I
dancing.
know it's fun. I took my grandson to a tamale festival.
Uh,
All he liked was the music.
well, I think it lasts all night. Yeah.
I know it's a big deal, tamales, but
Oh yeah.
I think there are some tamales that it don't work to me.
Well, we found a few of those that
Well,
don't work. I mean, like the pineapple
I
and
had,
stuff.
I was working in Paris, California at Walmart once,
Uh-huh.
and this lady comes in with tamales. Oh, they're real good. Try them.
Yeah.
Try them. Well, it was like the Hershey bars.
Yeah.
That skinny, and about 3 little shreds of meat.
Oh.
Lady, you're gonna go down, lady. I ain't buying no more from you. No, really. They try to make a big money. The rule of thumb: if you make good tamales, you're gonna have good. And if you make tamales trying to beat the price and make a gouge, you're not gonna win.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know who
My
won the thing.
father always said, if you make good stuff, you make good work,
Yeah.
and you try to beat the system, and you're going to be having clients all the time.
That's the way it is. That's why you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly. I do my stuff, and I go home, and I just rest for the next.
Good deal, man. I appreciate the call.
And when I go home, I'm a rock. I just fall in the bed, and I don't wake up around 4 o'clock.
That's what a hard day's work will do, man.
Well, driving is. I've been driving since I used to drive a service truck from Kennedy Tires.
Okay.
And I used to change the tires from here to. There was a company called End Harvest.
Right.
They had a base in Welton, and I had to go change 6 tires on those Commandos 1120s.
Mm-hmm.
I would load up 4 tires and split down there. But Inner Harvest, I don't know why it's too much trouble.
Oh, it's hard work. You don't have a tire machine for those things.
In those days, you didn't have a tire machine.
No. That was all by hand. All by hand.
All rim.
Oh, those are dangerous.
If you don't watch what you're doing, you're gonna cut your head off.
Well, yeah, those have hurt. Those have killed people. That's why they had the tire cages and stuff.
They're called widowmakers.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with us. Yeah. All right, buddy. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah, I don't use those tire locks. I don't think they're legal anymore. I wouldn't think. I don't know. They definitely were around when I was messing around with trucks. We definitely had them, but they were dangerous for sure. Oh, and the Tamale Festival, Ellen and I did go down on Saturday. Good time. Now we just went down during the daytime. I understand it keeps going till late at night, so a lot of people were still resting, getting ready for the night when we were down there. We had wonderful tamales. Let's phone call. You're on the air.
Morning, Russ. How you doing?
Doing well, Ted.
Did you answer your request to the governor?
No. What,
She was there.
at the Tamale Festival.
Uh-huh. She blows him like a ghost.
I
Nobody knows about anything until after the fact.
I had no idea. Now I went down there and I enjoy going. Um, I try not to wear any Trump stuff. Some are there's still I'm not looking for controversy. But, there's still a lot of Democrats, and they had a lot of Democrat booths. You know,
Yeah, but
Adelita Grijalva had a booth, and the Democrat Party had a wonderful booth with nice signage and stuff, which I don't see out in the public much. But I see it down in South County.
right.
I don't see it up here in Yuma.
Hobbs was there. I figured she'd request your appearance.
No, I don't think I was there with Hobbs because it would have been a crowd. I would have noticed. If somebody
Yeah.
forming
She was
around.
here she was here in town too at the Veterans Building.
How did I miss all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone.
Pandering,
I wouldn't have gone to see
pandering
her.
pandering for the vote.
Well, that's a normal thing. I think everyone does that. I can't blame her for that. But
She's just a Dixiecrat.
I don't, I don't support her. But there was a lot of Democrat booths down in South County.
Right.
People running for different offices. I didn't see any Republican booths at all. I didn't see any, and I didn't see the Tea Party. I went down there looking for them. I thought they were going to be there,
Right.
but I don't know. I didn't see them. If they were there, I somehow missed it.
Right. Did you get a chance to listen to Vance's speech at the?
No, I didn't. I didn't listen to it. Of course, I've read on it. And I've read, and I'll read some of it on the air today.
Right.
But he was. Well, I saw little snippets of it, but he was excellent. I mean, he's so confident, comfortable, and so at home now
Right.
on that stage.
Yeah,
He owns
got
it.
a-
He owns it.
Yeah, he's got a good presence.
Yeah, he does.
Here's what I think is going to come from the Democratic Party.
What?
They're going to associate what he did to some of the German rallies during the boom.
What do you mean what he
Hitler.
did? What did he do that would be associated with German rallies, other than it was
Nationalism, the
America
bolstering
first?
the troops. Yeah,
America first. That's what he was.
they're going to. I guarantee you, they're going to come out with something like that.
Yes, I agree.
will.
They will. But I think they just throw anything against the wall, see what sticks. I don't think any of that works.
Right. But I see it coming from him.
But he stated in his speech, he says, "America First movement is open to free thinkers who love this country. Free thinkers. Not those that get in line, but free thinkers."
Right.
And he embraced it.
Yeah.
And he embraced the Republicans that are frustrated. He embraced it. He didn't chastise them. He didn't say, "Get in line." We're doing the best we can. He didn't make any excuses. I kind of like it.
Right. And how about the Nicki Minaj? You see that?
No, just a little snippet of it, but I'm surprised. And she just spoke at the UN too, I guess, just recently,
Yeah.
and then came over to that, and she's not what you would consider a normal MAGA or Republican or conservative or America First, but I got to respect that.
I do too. I was amazed that she believe it or not, she mesmerized the crowd.
What about you, Ted? Were you mesmerized?
Yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
think she
that's
told the truth. You could tell, for once, somebody you could tell
Yeah,
was telling the truth in everything they said.
good to
And
know.
you could see the effect it was having on Charlie's wife.
Wow.
That somebody would be that forthright and honest when you may not have had the impression of her being that way.
I like the way you put that she told the truth, because my opinion, I don't think the left tells the truth most of the time, or they skirt the truth, or they tell half truths in order to not compliment or not agree with or not align themselves or recognize the success of the things that are going on versus what was happening under Biden. I think they do lie.
And I think keep an eye out for it. I think you're going to see comparisons made to some of the rallies that were done in Nazi Germany.
Oh no.
I think they're going to do it.
Is that how they justify their rallies not being popular? Is that how they justify that we can't get a big rally unless we pay celebrities millions of dollars to be there? I guarantee you Nicki Minaj was not paid to be
there. No. I guarantee she was.
And we know the Democrats pay them, pay Oprah, like millions of dollars.
Right. Wow. But if anybody gets the chance to see a repeat Nicki Minaj's interaction with Mrs. Kirk, watch it, because you'll hear the truth for a change from people that you would not normally believe.
Well, Bill Maher's been telling the truth more lately. A lot of these guys are starting to, at least give credit to Trump, at least, tell the truth a little bit. And, it's kind of refreshing, but it's temporary. It's.
I think that has a lot to do with a money issue.
Money? What? Like not to get sued?
Lawsuits. Yeah, lawsuits. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're real things right now. Trump, just sued BBC for like $10 billion. Which is hilarious. It's hilarious money.
1.8 million or 1.8 billion, I think, was the suit.
I thought it was 10 billion, but I don't know. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah,
I need notes
constantly. You need notes.
I need notes. Yeah.
Well, here's the note.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You take care, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Ted on Nicki Minaj. Yeah, she was there. I did see a clip of it. I didn't sit down and watch America First. I should have. It was 4 days. You know that? It's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was 4 days. It was to deal with Turning Point there in Phoenix. It's something I would have gone to, I guess. I'm busy. I had a lot of commitments here in Yuma. Even if I had tickets, I don't know. Would have been hard to not go, but I didn't plan for it, so I had things to do. Couldn't get away from it. Well, since he brings it up, let's talk about America First and some of the things that J.D. Vance did today. And he talked about people of faith, and I like that. Turning Point, the America First, Trump, Vance, they do talk about faith, and it didn't used to be. It didn't used to be a safe subject, I guess, and now it very much is. He said, people of every faith come to our banner because they know the America First movement makes our lives better. They know Democrats don't care about anything other than transing their kids. And he vowed to stand with every patriot in the room to defend the country we so dearly love. He dismissed the conservative infighting, and there has been. I mean, there's always going to be. I mean, face it, when you get all these 8 personalities together, senators, representatives, state officials, governors, you get them all together, there's going to be some disagreements at times, and that's going to cause, some infighting. He said President Trump did not build the greatest coalition in politics by running his supporters through endless self-defeating purity tests, which I think is a great way to speak of it. And he did that because earlier speakers had name dropped each other about divisions over Israel or divisions over Ukraine. And yes, there's going to be difference of opinion. Absolutely. But I like that he said Trump didn't purity test him, but Trump did make sure that the people on his cabinet, the people that are close to him, are going to support the America First program. He made sure of that, and he made that mistake during the first term, where probably not everyone was loyal. Even if they disagree on some subject matter. And yeah, you think Ted Kennedy, Robert Kennedy agrees and aligns himself with everything? No, he doesn't. Trump put him in something that on something that he had in his passion, and that is something that is agreed on. Health. He says, we don't care if you're white or black, rich or poor, young or old, rural or urban, controversial or a little bit boring, or somewhere in between. People of every faith come to our banner because they know that America First movement will make their lives better. And they also know the Democrats don't care about anything other than maybe transing their kids. So if you love America, if you want all of us to be richer, stronger, safer, and prouder, you have a home on this team. I didn't bring a list of conservatives to announce or to do platform, and I don't really care if some people out there, and I'm sure we'll have the fake news media, denounce me after this speech. I think it's an excellent
Hey,
way
good
to be.
morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very good.
Doing all right. Well, good,
Yeah.
Carl.
You know, my 2 cents is President Trump said America first.
Yep, he did. And
And we the people said promises made, promises were kept.
I think so. I mean, there's
Yeah, I
going to be
think so.
there's going to be some that disagree with us, Carl. There's going to be some that didn't come fast enough. I thought you were going to do X, and it hasn't happened yet. And
Yeah.
and that impatient was recognized by Vance, and it was embraced. He didn't condemn anybody for it, but recognizing that it may not come as fast as you want. But it's the fastest any president's ever done anything like this, as far as number of items that have been completed and started and tasks that have been done. It's like the guy doesn't stop working.
Well, it has to go back to what we said in Vietnam. The difficult we do immediately, the impossible is going to take longer. And his impossible is the Democratic Party, they are working for the communists instead of the Americans.
They're definitely pushing the far left socialist mandates and stuff. I mean, there's just no question. And you call it communist because it evolves to the same thing, for sure. And they try to hide it, they try to mask it, but take a look at the vote, look at what they stand for. Period.
Well, I think people living in the United States think of America first instead of trying to change it.
Yeah.
Because what we have so far is really pretty good.
Well, it's been the greatest nation on the planet for many years now because of the freedoms, the liberty, and the form of government that allows everyone to achieve, and it inspires people. You don't get that in every country, and the left will kill all that by giving everything to everybody, and you have no reason to work hard. You have no reason to do all that. And we get enough criminals in here stealing stuff. There won't be anything left to steal, like in Somalia. There's nothing left to steal. They had to go to another country to steal it.
And speaking of Somalia and these things, why do you have Tampon Tim, governor of that state, giving those people so much?
Because they voted him in. And he voted him in, and he's corrupt. He's corrupt, and he's blaming it on everybody else. It happened on his watch, under his watchful eye. And he says, and I heard him in the speech just this morning. I was listening, and it said something about, the governor doesn't go out and watch every Medicaid application and all that kind of stuff. He's just alibiing. He's covering himself. Like, it's not my job to watch every one of them. Yes, it is your job to make sure it's getting done. It's to get done right. I agree. To get done right. No, you're not supposed to micromanage and watch everyone, but my God, you've got to put people in place to do that, and then listen to them when they tell you something's wrong. And there's been whistleblowers galore, and he's ignored it. He's ignored it, and he's covered it up, probably for political favors.
That is correct. And that would be if anybody was in his service and was doing what he did, they'd be locked up.
Yeah. If we had more governors like Tim out there, saying, "Well, it's not my fault, it's not my fault," the whole country would be in flames.
Well, we'd be a Somalia.
Right.
That's exactly what would happen. If we do not have the government we have today, people ought to stop and say, well, do I want to live in America or do I want to live in Somalia?
Yeah, he's not taking responsibility. But it's up to his state to vote him in or not. It's up to
Yeah.
his state. And we've seen what happened. I mean, there's enough a criminal element, and people on the take that may vote him in again. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and watch.
Well, I think President Trump's going to take him out.
Well, President Trump is going after the fraud and abuse, and if he gets caught up in that, then
That's
he
what I
may
said.
he may not be able to run. We'll
Well,
see.
President Trump is going to take him out
Yeah.
because it goes back to the promises made, promises kept. And it doesn't matter who you are or anything. If you break the law, you should have to do the crime.
Well, Ilhan Omar, I think, is a lot closer to it, and there's she's getting nervous, as Tim is. Tim's getting nervous. You can tell. His rhetoric's getting a little crazy. But I think the whole thing about her brother marrying her brother, it's been known for a long time. It's been joked about. We talked about it. I guess they're doing a real investigation now for some reason. They've never done that to see if she was breaking laws. Now, I don't know about the statute of limitations and all that because that happened quite a while ago. But for her to help her brother get in that way, I mean, his citizenship could be revoked. I don't know what would happen to her, but his could be revoked.
And before I go, the last thing I want to say is we do the same thing right here in Yuma, Arizona, with our new elected Alita Grijalva. The first thing she did that I could realize, she's really putting it on Facebook. She was down there fighting with our ICE people, trying to make America safe again. They were getting there. The people do not belong here.
Yeah.
And so what I would say to her, what would she do if she came home and there was a family moved into her house, just took over, ate her food? What would she do? Would she get them more food or would she ask them to leave?
Well, you know the answers. You mean
Yeah, but
take
she doesn't want to have them come into her house. But she doesn't mind them coming into our house.
Well, their charity starts with taxpayer money. That's charity, but that's not really charity. That's not. That's not
our house.
That's giving away someone else's money.
Yeah, we the people's money.
That's right.
And we are the people.
Yeah.
So people have to understand where you want to put your dollar.
Well, and we need to vote in the right people, and obviously that district voted in Alita Grijalva. They had some great choices, and I think they went with the wrong one. But they blur the message, confuse the message, and but we're winning ground every day. I mean, it's not fast enough, but we are winning.
That's true.
Yeah.
And we won ground last time because Michelle King, we kept her in office.
She's a wonderful lady.
They're wonderful. And look how bad they beat her up.
Yeah, she's tough though.
And she's tough. And now what they're going to do is they're just going to put more candidates on the Republican side to run against her. So what goes on in the United States for all those people, it comes right back to our town. We can see what goes on. So now if they can get Michelle Pena out of there, they won the football game on that one. But if the Republicans are smart enough to see what's really going on, they're putting people up against Michelle Pena.
Yeah.
And when we lose Michelle Pena, we lose the state.
Yeah.
That's what you call a nail biter football team.
Well, and you're right. She kept the majority for Republican by her winning the seat. Now, whether or not that's still required, I don't know. But we need her regardless of the. We need her regardless.
And I hope the Republicans and the Independents understand how they really want the Yuma to run. And right now, Yuma runs awesome. Yuma is an awesome town, in my opinion.
It is. We've got a good mayor and council right now, and that helps a lot. I think it runs well. So.
Well, I'm going to go back to our Mayor Nichols. He does one hell of a good job.
He really does. I understand he's going to be running again, so that's wonderful.
Well, I hope so. I was glad to donate the Whitmore to that man to put up his sign. So that's too damn bad to put him up. So
Yeah.
I got enough rebar for about
Right.
8 or 9 kilos.
I'll put them up. You just ride along and show me how to do it. That's
Well, I can still run that wire.
all right, buddy.
Well,
Take-
you have a beautiful day.
You take
Bye.
care. As Mr. Carl, he's been putting up campaign signs forever. He has. Getting back to J.D. Vance, some of the things he said. He talks about the impatience of some of those, the infighting and all that. He said, some of you are impatient at the pace of progress. And my response to that is good. And that's because of the criticism, on the America First agenda, that it's not happening fast. He says, I know some of you are discouraged by the infighting with any number of issues. Don't be discouraged. Wouldn't you rather lead a movement of free thinkers who sometimes disagree than a bunch of drones who take their orders from George Soros? And I think that's a great point. Charlie Kirk once told me that politics is not a dress rehearsal or a game, but a series of decisions that will shape the future of a country. My friends, commit to these things, and I promise you victory. I promise you closed borders and safe communities. I promise you good jobs and a dignified life. Only God can promise you salvation in heaven. But together we can fulfill the promise of the greatest nation in the history of the earth. We have far more important work to do than cancel each other. We have got to build, and President Donald Trump is a builder. We're building a better country right now. We're building by adding, by growing, not tearing. When you restore sanity at the border, it shows up everywhere else. And he pointed to rent costs, gas prices, inflation, unemployment declining. We made it clear in the United States we believe in hard work and merit. We don't treat anybody a certain way because of their race or their sex. So we have regulated DEI to the dustbin of history, which is exactly where it belongs. To honor Kirk's life, the Trump administration will continue working to end the scourge of left-wing violence, including by not only arresting Antifa members who throw bricks, but who bought the bricks. And we're going to prosecute them too, referring to shadowy, deep-pocketed leftist interests, which is about time. Because somebody did buy them, somebody put them there. We'll be right back. AM 560.
Forecast for today, clouds and sunshine mixed to a high of 80. And then for tonight, clear and 53, mostly cloudy skies later. And then 70 and cloudy tomorrow, 62 and cloudy on Tuesday night. Wednesday, Christmas Eve, look for partly cloudy skies in the morning, chance of some showers in the afternoon, and a high of 74 on Wednesday.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. Never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Spend on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Well, it's all fun and games until you're stuck with bad internet. Not so much fun. Say goodbye to bad internet. Say hello to local support from a company that believes in better. Say goodbye to the spinning wheel of doom and the regular equipment rebooting. Say hello to the hassle-free experience. Say goodbye to the internet struggles of yesterday and say hello to a provider that fits our community and provides a product and service that's locally rooted right here in our hometown. Find out more at allofiber.com. That's allofiber.com.
At Exceptional Community Hospital, we are redefining what emergency care should feel like. Fast, personal, and compassionate. Our experienced physicians and staff are here 24/7 to care for your unexpected illness or injury. Don't wait for emergency care. You can be seen in minutes. With short wait times, you'll get the prompt attention you need because every minute matters. And if your recovery takes longer, we provide the inpatient care you deserve. Exceptional Community Hospital. Compassionate care. Exceptional service.
The 8 Nights of Hanukkah, a Jewish holiday tradition. More in a moment.
Ed Whitehead's Tire Pros have been serving Arizona for over 20 years. New season is here, so ask about specialty tires for your toys. We also do alignments, brakes, oil changes, AC work, inspections, preventive maintenance, and more. Your tires at any of our core at Whitehead's Tire Pros locations. Ed Whitehead's Tire Pros wishes you all a happy holiday season. From our family to yours, and cheers. Safe and prosperous 2026 at Whitehead's Tire Pros. Yeah, we got tires for that.
For Jews throughout the world, Hanukkah, the Feast of Lights, is celebrated over 8 nights, usually in the month of December. Each night, a candle is lit on the menorah, which is accompanied by a prayer, after which a small gift is given to each of the children. During Hanukkah, gifts are exchanged and contributions are made to the poor. Hanukkah, a Jewish holiday tradition.
To be a part of Russ's show, call 928-344-5258. That's 928-344-5258.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pearson for the same basic service? I think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe.
AM 560 KBL. Russ Clark with you, and I have Danny on the line. Good morning, Danny. You still there, man?
Hey, Russ.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Okay. You know something? Our vice president had an awesome speech.
Good.
You know, and in my opinion, this is my opinion, Russ, that the Republicans have a deep bench, the Democrats have nothing.
I think you're right. I think it's obvious to everybody, probably including them. You're not going to hear them say that, but they're pretty weak.
Having a hard time.
They're pretty weak.
Call you later, okay?
All right, man. Bye. Mr. Danny, connection problem or something. Phone lines are open 928-344-5258. Waymo. I don't know. I mean, that's a robo taxi service, and they're testing them. They're field testing them out a few places. San Francisco being one of them. I think they're in Phoenix also, aren't they? The Waymo taxis, robo taxis. Well, they had to shut them down because there was a power outage in San Francisco. So it's just a shame. I mean, San Francisco's crumbling. I mean, not San, all of California. Everything from the the electrical grid, the gas prices, homelessness. In fact, you can't name something they're responsible for that's doing well. But let me take a phone call first. You're on the air.
How about some humor this morning, Russ?
Go right ahead, buddy. Be funny.
Okay. all those no man cars, the electric cars, the man cars, you know what I'm talking about? The cabs. You hear what happened in San Francisco, right?
Well, that's what I was just starting to talk about, man. They had to shut them down because they had no power.
They had no power. So what's going to really happen when the caca hits the fans? And you know,
Well,
you got to think about.
Well, we've got to have a power grid and that's we can count on. California is the worst probably at it, and we don't have enough of a power grid for the rest of the country. If we were going to go 100% electric, we don't have the power for it. It's just not there.
Well, let's talk about having the power grid all over America. We've gone to the point that we're able to do it all over America, and our enemy wants to take care of us. You know, do some nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, they would destroy America by tearing up them electric grids with all these cars, huh?
Yeah. Well, California's done away with their nuclear power. They've done away. They're just putting all the money in the wrong places. You know, they're supporting illegals and inviting them over and giving them hotels, and they're not taking care of the people who pay taxes for infrastructure. Even they're not taking care of them.
California used to have an abundance of fruit.
Yeah, it did.
All over the place.
Yeah.
But I forgot what it was. 5 gallons of water to feed one almond. But the almond industry is a billion-dollar industry, so it's better to have almonds than peaches and pears and stuff like they used to in the past.
Yeah.
So then we got that snipe, that little fish.
Yeah, there's a snail darter or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So we got to protect that little thing and get rid of all the farms and ranches and stuff. So we're still. So my question, Russ, is since you know everything, are we still shipping out our pork to China and then bringing it back?
I don't know. I imagine there's some things that are being done that, raw materials and get the produced goods back and then stuff like that. But I don't know how much that's done.
I'm talking about our food.
Our food?
When we shipping up our pork or some beef.
Oh, for
China,
processing? I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with that.
I thought I heard about it, and we were wondering why we're sending our pork overseas.
Wow,
and
that would be hugely costly, I would assume. And we do have a problem with those I think there's 5 of them in the nation that actually, the packing plants and stuff, that butcher shops, the big ones. And they're the ones making money right now that are, it's not the cattle farmers that are getting this windfall of huge prices, but meat packing plants seem to do very well.
Well, I know because generations, they don't all want to be cattle farmers. They all don't know, how many farms have we lost because the kids don't want to do it anymore. It's a hard job. Farming is a hard job.
Oh yeah. Well, it's big business now. It's not small. It's big business. And it used to be like half the population was involved in farming. That's just the way it was, when the country was founded, but not anymore. I don't know. What is it? I don't know what it is. Probably 1% or something, or less than 1%.
I think so. And that's why we're losing a lot. That's why we're having to get fruits and vegetables from Mexico and everywhere else.
Well, and we export a lot of food. We do export a lot of food, but it's automation, man. They invented tractors and hydraulic stuff and computers and it's if nothing else, the automation has been growing constantly. It's never stopped.
So we lost a lot of industry, or I should say soybean, right? Because China decided not to buy.
Right. They were upset with the tariffs, so they retaliated, and there wasn't a lot they could do to retaliate. I mean, they were the ones that were gaining everything on the tariffs imbalance, but they did break the contract with the farmers on the soybeans, and Trump is made plans to make that right, to help them with taking some of that tariff money and putting it towards those farmers that were punished because of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder if our farmers should start thinking about other countries and instead of just China. I mean, give our soybean to other countries.
I'm sure they would. Yeah,
right.
I'm sure they would. You just gotta find a country that can buy it. That's all.
Right. Well, in that quantity.
Yeah.
That's the question. Is quantity. I mean, you can tell. It just like I'm thinking, if China has that much control on their soybeans that it can destroy or disturb our soybean farmers, we need to be looking at something else.
Well, see, they built it based on contracts. They had contracts with China, and they broke them due to the tariffs. But a lot of our crops, our seeds that we grow here, a lot of that goes overseas. The dates go overseas. Most of citrus goes overseas. Japan's a big buyer of citrus. So we export a lot more than most people realize.
Well, that's one of our industries that we have lost a lot, our citrus.
Yeah, there's not near as much of it as there used to be. Yeah.
Oh no, I remember the days.
Yeah.
But anyway, my fun for today was all these fancy cars, these fancy cabs were frozen solid on the highways in the Bay Area.
Well. Yeah, there's a reason for that. That was the power grid, but the cars still work. They just couldn't drive. That's
exactly.
They weren't out of power, but because the San Francisco was out of power, they relied on the systems of stoplights and all that to work. They were geared towards that. And when those things went down, they had to shut them down.
Yeah, driverless cars, right?
Correct. They
Yeah.
weren't programmed to work without the stoplights and stuff, without the infrastructure.
Oh. Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
So you guys have a nice day there,
You
Russ.
too, man. Take care, buddy. Bye. Yeah, the power outage caused gridlock in San Francisco, but it's going to cause gridlock if all the power goes out anyway, and there's no traffic lights. It's going to cause gridlock in most anywhere. And Yuma will cause a big slowdown. I don't think gridlock would be a name for it. We don't have enough cars. But the Waymo spokesperson, Susanna, she said yesterday's power outage was a widespread event that caused gridlock across San Francisco with non-functioning traffic signals and transit disruptions. While the failure of the utility infrastructure was significant, we are committed to ensuring our technology adjusts to traffic flow during each event. I don't think they adjusted. I don't think it was. I don't think they were ready for that. Probably. I mean, Waymo is still in its early stages. They're still working on it now. Elon Musk posted something on social media platform. He says X, on his. And he said, amid the blackout chaos, Tesla robotaxis were unaffected by San Francisco power. Well, there's a good reason for that. And he put it in there. He said, to note, Tesla does not provide driverless robotaxi service in San Francisco, and its local rides use vehicles equipped with FDS supervised. And that's full self-driving, but it's supervised. In other words, there's a guy in the seat. A driver assistance program. So, yeah, they're still testing at Tesla before they turn them loose. Theirs is a total different system. I mean, it works like a person, supposed to read everything and figure out everything. I don't think Waymo was built the same way. They couldn't. They weren't ready for that. And I don't know that Tesla was, but it was a great opportunity for them to test to see how well they do, I guess. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Well, first, let me take the phone call since it is ringing. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Russ.
Good morning.
Let me just, I'd like to interject a little bit more humor on this driverless car for hire phenomenon that seems to be sweeping the country.
Okay.
I heard over the weekend a story, I believe it was in Philadelphia, where a lady had ordered one of these driverless cab taxis, whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed up on time. And as she was approaching the vehicle, she heard someone crying for help. Help me, I'm locked in.
No.
As it turns out, long story short, as it turns out, there was a man that was trapped in the luggage, or I guess where the engine normally would be. The engine compartment is now a trunk.
Yeah.
Somehow got himself in there and the lid closed behind him. So who knows how long this poor guy was driving around town trying to get out. I just laughed.
And, was that lady able to get him out, or they had to call for some help or something?
Well, the story was just, it was real short. I believe it was on Newsmax, but over the weekend. But I'm sure she called somebody who called the police. They disabled it somehow. But anyway, the guy, they rescued the poor guy. But I just couldn't help wondering how many hours, if not days, has he been trapped inside this car? It was hilarious.
I would hope not long. I mean, she could have just gotten in the car and taken a ride.
It reminded me of an old Western movie I saw when I was a child many years ago, where a guy was getting off his horse and he got his foot stuck in the stirrup, and he didn't stop until the horse decided he was tired. He drove him all over the desert. Anyway,
thank you, man.
That's really funny.
Be good. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
With that, I'm going to take a break. AM 560.
All right, do-it-yourselfer, you've got the idea, and you got your building supplies at Southwest Lumber.
That's right.
Now, all you need is a bunch of expensive tools to get the job done.
Oh, that's right.
And you know just the place to rent them. Southwest Lumber, your home for everything home improvement. Southwest Lumber has half-day to multiple-day rentals available on just about anything you need to finish the job. Rent equipment and tools on Saturday and Sunday. It's free. Stop in today at 1917 South Avenue B in Yuma. Southwest Lumber, ready for everything.
The Desert Lily Annual Quilt Show is coming Friday and Saturday, January 9th and 10th at the Yuma Civic Center with hundreds of beautiful quilts and wearable art items on display. See the special quilt celebrating America's 250th birthday. There'll be items for sale at the country stores and a fat quarter basket drawing. Admission is just $8. Buy tickets for your chance at winning the Love in a Mist quilt. Proceeds to benefit the Hanson House. The Desert Lily Annual Quilt Show, January 9th and 10th at the Yuma Civic Center. Don't miss it.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
There's a man in D.C.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. It's already 6:56. Phone lines are open. Just got a couple minutes to top the hour. 60 Minutes. I'm not a fan. It used to be. I remember a time when 60 Minutes really carried a lot of weight. People watched it like crazy to see what was going to happen. One of those times when you were a business owner and they said, hey, someone's at the door named 60 Minutes and wants to talk to you. You know, that'd send shivers down your back when you were out there doing investigative reporting and stuff and catching people doing things wrong. And some of them were just con jobs and stuff. They had that they outed some stuff. They were actually very productive back then. I think that was actually a good thing. Well, I think they've changed. You know, they're more liberal activists at this point. But you know, in fact, I know CBS got sued. Was it 60 Minutes that got sued? I think by Trump. Oh yeah, it was. Kamala Harris when they cut up the stuff trying to make her look presidential instead of playing what she really said. And that was right before the election. You know, obviously they were on her campaign team. The recent one, they just the one that we're going to play this last weekend, they postponed it. They stopped it. You know, in fact, it was hours before the episode was ready to air on Sunday. They put a note out there on X saying the broadcast lineup for tonight's edition of 60 Minutes has been updated. Our report inside CCOT, and that's the prison in El Salvador, will air in a future broadcast. Well, what they were going to put on was inside CCOT, and they were going to interview some of the now released deportees who describe the brutal and torturous conditions. And of course, they're interviewing immigrants that were sent to El Salvador, immigrants that were deported by the Trump administration. So obviously, political. It's not unfair to do reports on that kind of stuff, but as soon as I see that it was postponed, I was just wondering, like, maybe they want to go back and verify that it was a true story, that it was not, something that they fabricated or something that they, left on the cutting room floor, reality, and they put stuff up there just trying to tarnish Trump. I have no idea, and they're not being accused of such things, but at the last minute to say, "Whoa, let's do it now," and honestly, I think that's a good thing. I mean, maybe this fear of being sued for misrepresenting, for having a political agenda on the news and calling the news, it's put a little fear in them as far as, hey, let's get it right. Getting it right's okay, but if you taint it, cut it up to make it look just one way, I think there's a problem. Earlier, and here's how it was set up. It said earlier this year, the Trump administration deported hundreds of Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador, a country who had no ties to claiming they were terrorists. You know, and many were sent there that weren't necessarily Venezuelan. Said this move sparked an ongoing legal battle. And 9 months later, the U.S. government still has not released the names of all those deported and placed in CECOT, one of El Salvador's harshest prisons. Yeah, it looks like a prison that's under control. I mean, by the government. It doesn't. It looks like it would be a non fun place to be. No question about that. It looks like it'd be safe though. I mean, there's a lot of prisons in the world that you're going to get murdered like crazy. I think the prison guard.
This is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.
A power struggle off the U.S. and Venezuelan coasts. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. As the Trump administration cracks down on black market oil, more on that in a moment. Now they're going after wind. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum just told Fox Business.
Today, we're sending notifications to the 5 large offshore wind projects that are under construction. Their leases will be suspended due to national security concerns.
Classified information provided by the War Department. This is the U.S. military. He's pursuing a third oil tanker off Venezuela's coast, said to be flying a false flag, carrying sanctioned oil. A pursuit at sea after the U.S. seized a second tanker over the weekend.
The Department of War has been fantastic partners in making sure we're not just interdicting these ships, but we're also sending a message around the world that the illegal activities that Maduro is participating in cannot stand, need to be gone.
Homeland Security Secretary Christian referencing Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, who's wanted in the U.S. on drug trafficking crimes. Secretary Noem also just told Fox they're tripling the cash bonus for the holidays for immigrants who are illegally or self-deport.
We'll buy you a ticket, give you $3,000 to go home, and that includes people that have not been detained, or maybe haven't interacted with us, are detained and don't have criminal charges against them.
of Arizona's ESA program, and we have to continue to press forward and fight against that.
Yeah. My my understanding is, they've always fought that on price. They said it was too expensive. It's draining it. We're going to go bankrupt as a state and all that. I don't hear it as much. I don't hear it as much as they've backed off on that, or I'm not listening.
Yeah, you'll probably still hear that here and there kind of around. ESA program went universal in 2022, meaning every student in Arizona qualified for the program. You had people switching out of public schools, private schools, to utilize those education dollars. Now you have so many families that are starting off their kids at kindergarten, accessing an ESA for homeschool or private school. And every time a student goes on ESA, who otherwise would have been in a public school, Arizona taxpayers save quite significantly. And that's because the program is only 90% of the state per student funding. So there's always a savings to the taxpayer on an ESA.
Yeah, and of course they lied about it for so many years. I don't think most people recognize that. They just see that as an add-on bill to a budget that's already strained, even though it's more than 50% of our total budget for the entire state.
Oh, that's absolutely right. So when you look at K-12 funding in Arizona, I think some of your listeners might be surprised to learn that it is over $7.6 billion. It is the largest part of the Arizona state budget. And what are we getting for that is the question, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's very little accountability on the public school system side. We only have about a little over 30% of students reading proficiently in Arizona based on the last nation's report card. That's called the NAEP scores.
Yeah.
They test that at 4th grade and 8th grade. And so we have got an absolute catastrophic problem in Arizona and across the country. And if ESAs are one of many solutions to get these kids out of schools that are failing them, we owe it to those kids and to our state and country to give them that option.
Long-term success for ESA, and I say that, I mean, I think it's a successful program, but long-term success because there's so many agencies that are trying to kill it, from the Democrat side of things. Unfortunately, it's a political thing, which shouldn't be. But long-term success is going when we start showing numbers of success of people that have been through homeschool, people have been on, and I know they're out there, and I know they are, but I don't think you can. There's a lot of comparison studies that show, college success, career success, public service success, and all of that from the ESA versus public schools.
Yeah, so in Arizona's ESA program, we actually put control into the hands of the parents to decide. So we don't require families who utilize an ESA to do state testing. But what you've said overall is exactly true. Parents are choosing schools like private schools that already voluntarily do testing. I mean, that's just, I don't know, a single private school in Arizona that doesn't do testing. And we all know, just based on, common sense, that children who are going to these private schools, they have higher graduation rates. They have higher rates into college and career readiness.
But those are the numbers that are really important, I think, above the testing.
So important. Yes. And the other kind of big thing here is we all know that the number of families that are homeschooling has gone up significantly since 2020, since COVID. And anytime even, you just pop on Google and look up rates of homeschoolers, SAT scores, ACT scores. There's a new exam out there called the CLT, the Classic Learning Test. These kids are scoring off the charts, right? Because they're getting an education often that is very personalized, that gives them a lot of core knowledge. I don't know if you guys have seen kind of some of the news out there in the last week, but we have the SAT now. And a lot of these tests that are out there, not even requiring students to read full books. There was a big story, I think it was maybe in the Free Press, it might have been in the Times now that we're talking about it, I can't remember, talking about how high schoolers in many public schools are only reading excerpts from novels. They're not even reading full books anymore.
Oh.
And so that's where I feel so excited about the ESA program and what's happening in Arizona and across the country, because parents are going, no, that's not okay. I want my kid home educated with an ESA. I want them in a private school, like that's going to give them an incredible foundational education in American history and literature, STEM, technology, all these things. That's what ESA is unlocking for Arizona children.
Now, Jenny, you're a school teacher, right? You've been one?
No,
You're
I'm
not?
not a school teacher.
Okay.
No, I homeschooled for many years
Okay.
though, but I know
So
that
you're
is not the same.
familiar with all that. But I think the ESA program hopefully brings back this competitive nature to the public schools, to where they know they've got to up their game. Because I'd like to see everybody do well, including public schools. I'd like to see them change to where they say, "Wow, we're losing ground here because people want something we're not offering."
Yes, school choice is a rising tide that lifts all boats. It basically says, listen, now families for the first time can opt out of their locally zoned district school, and they don't have to be wealthy, and they don't have to buy a home in a certain area. They can now choose, online schools, private schools, home education, and that competition is a good thing. I mean, we live in America. When did we start saying, well, we're gonna be, pro competition and pro capitalism and all these different things in all these different areas, except when it comes to K-12 education. When it comes to K-12 education, parents, you guys only get one choice, and it's your locally zoned district school. Arizona has been a leader in school choice for over 2 decades, first with charter schools, then open enrollment, where you can move between districts if there's space. And then now, of course, with Arizona's ESA program, which, we have had the ESA in Arizona since 2011, but it was only for special needs kids, military families, and some very select groups. And it was very difficult to get onto the program.
Right.
And since 2022, we've said, well, hey, we're a pro-freedom, pro-competition state. Let's get in there. Let's get these ESAs, and let's allow the public schools to compete and refine and better their product. We need that.
Yeah. What about colleges? I know kids that are ESA, homeschool, and all that, they go to colleges. Are there any colleges? Colleges have got to be very aware, of the size and what it's doing. Do they look to recruit, or they look to block? Is there anything from any colleges one way or the other on how they feel
I
about?
love this question. So we're just starting to see that. I like to say Arizona's ESA is, still a little bit of a toddler, since it's only been universal, since 2022.
Right.
Other states now, 18 states, have just passed ESAs in the last couple of years. So we're still in the very early stages, but the short answer is yes. Yes, because when you all of a sudden see a student who basically, is supported by a family, and they said, listen, we were at our public school and it was fine, but now we've gotten to choose this, STEM specific private school, or we've gotten to choose this, entrepreneurship focused online private school option, or gee, my kids are super bright and they're 3 grade levels ahead and we've been home educating them with an ESA. Those are exactly the types of students that many of our universities and post-secondary programs want. So I think we are going to see even more recruitment from students who are, on ESAs. I know that my 16-year-old, he was homeschooled for a very long time. He's done all sorts of, co-ops and really innovative online programs. We're really into, in America, reindustrialization and all those really cool things that we want to see more of in America. And he is at 16, got companies Zooming with him saying, tell me more about all the things that you've been able to do as a home educated kid, and tell me more about this ESA thing. He just had one from a huge software company on Friday. 16 years old.
And that's encouraging. And I think for parents that are scared, and not every parent can do the homeschooling.
No,
but-
and they shouldn't. They shouldn't. They don't have to with an
No,
ESA. They
no.
can choose a private school. Now they don't have to give up, all their income. If they have 3 or 4 kids, nobody can afford private school on 3 or 4 kids, but the ESA makes that possible.
Right. I'm seeing more and more, actually, even churches that are doing are moving into that direction to want to do schools, and we've already had them. I mean, we have a big Catholic high school here in Yuma, and some Lutheran schools, and some other middle schools and stuff that are Christian based. I think we're going to see more of those too. I mean, they're starting to roll them out, starting to look at that and put them in their plans.
Yes, and I think that is such a great option. You know, a lot of people forget that the entire education type model and even just basic literacy instruction, right? Teaching children and workers to read, that all came out of the church, first in Europe. And then here in America, churches were the ones who were saying, we want our communities and our people around us to be able to read. And and then that was kind of let go of, right, in America through the decades, where that was given to public schools. And so we are seeing churches and faith communities step back into those roles. And maybe they're not the headmaster, or they're, the teacher. They are, the teachers don't maybe necessarily go to that church or that congregation, but they're saying, hey, we've got space here. We've got, 10 classrooms that are empty during the week, and we would love for kids to be here getting, a faith-based education with an ESA. And so we are seeing a ton more of that. And I hope we continue to see more and more of it. It's the church getting back to a lot of its early roots, which was the Sunday school movement.
Yeah, there was the Catholic high school when it opened up here. My daughter graduated from there, and that's back when I had to pay the whole bill. And I thought at the time, this is unfair. I mean, I had the opportunity to pay, and I had the ability, but so many families that needed it as much as my daughter didn't have. And even then, I talked about it, that it would, we shouldn't just have these schools available to only those that have, the wherewithal. They should be available to people who want to learn.
Right.
And now they are, of course.
And now they are. And if we've said, as a culture and as a society, that we believe education is important, that it is a public good, and that we want to set aside funding in order for our society to be educated, that's incredible. That's what we've done. So now we should say, which is what we're doing with ESAs, well, it just makes sense to allow parents to choose what environment they want their child to be educated in, especially if it means that over time we are going to save taxpayers. We can't continue to foot the bill for failing public schools. And so many of those public schools, not all, I'm careful to say that, but so many of those public schools are pushing very extreme, very secular ideologies that are impacting our kids and that are impacting our country. And parents should be able to opt out of that. And thankfully, Arizona led the way with ESAs, and they can. But we have to fight to defend them, because that Governor Hobbs and folks that oppose parental choice, the first thing that they want to do every legislative session is just snatch ESAs out of the hands of these 100,000 students that are benefiting from them.
Oh yeah, and the thing that scares me the most, I mean, I think the legislature's done a great job of stand up to it and not giving up any ground. But I think the thing that could hurt them is they screamed for more regulation, and what they would do is make ESAs much like they do the independent medical doctors that can't keep up with the paperwork. They can't keep up with the regulation. They end up having to join, big hospitals and things because it's impossible to do. And I think that's a program I've seen, suggested. Well, they're out of control because they don't have enough regulations. They don't have enough testing, and they want to destroy them by just piling on bureaucracies.
Yep, that's exactly right. We call that death by 1,000 paper cuts, right? And we just want you to do this one little extra thing if you're an ESA parent. Oh, we just want, this private school to jump through this one little extra hoop, because the parents, not the schools, are receiving the funds directly. The parents are getting this, scholarship, because that's legally what it is in Arizona law. It's absolutely right. So we have to fight against that type of over regulation, because that's what we've seen in so many industries, right? You have this new, exciting, transformational, innovative policy, and then all of a sudden, a year or two later, it just looks like everything else, because we give in to the unions and we give in to the lobbyists, and we forget that freedom is sometimes risky, and we have to take those risks, and we have to move forward for the benefit of our kids.
I think it's well-meaning legislators sometimes that have done things to hurt the current public school system. They say, wouldn't it be nice if you did this? And then forced every school to add a person in the office to keep track of it. And
that's exactly right.
and little by little, you start getting all the money's not going to the classroom anymore. And then they start complaining, like, why aren't you schools doing it? Well, it's their fault. They're the ones that put all the regulations on, that put all the restrictions, that put all the requirements on that are causing them to that's actually distracting from learning actual skills that are useful for the kids.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And that's where you get this astronomical administrative bloat in so many government programs and in so many government systems. So, if people hear legislators in Arizona saying, well, I just want to regulate this in Arizona's wildly successful ESA program, I just want to add this other little regulation, my comment is, where is that coming from?
Yeah.
And why are you giving in to the talking points of our opponents? I mean, they would love nothing more than to start over-regulating the ESA program and overburdening this very freedom-forward policy that's really transforming our state.
Of course, that's your job to keep telling everybody that, so that we don't fall into that trap, and it is a trap. And
yes, that's my job. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Yeah, because one by one, we would add enough garbage to it that it would force them all out of individuals and into bigger businesses. And that's not what makes it so special.
Yes, that's exactly right. And we have to just continue to talk about the things that citizens and voters and taxpayers are concerned about. There's so much concern in all of the waste, fraud, and abuse in Arizona's,
Right.
Medicare program and all these things in dollars that, just boggle the mind that is being wasted and abused.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't allow that in any government program, whether it's, the public school system or in the ESA program. And so it's fascinating that various folks and electeds, such as our current Arizona Attorney General, are so focused on the less than 0.01% of misspending in Arizona's ESA program and not focused on the massive amounts of misspending that takes years to uncover in the public school system or that we already know exists in Arizona's Medicaid program.
They throw out there that there's Frappuccino machines and hot tubs and stuff. Give me the address of these people. I don't believe it. Number one, and Tom Horn has said it just hasn't happened on his watch because they have to send in bills or receipts in order to receive the money.
Yes. And I'm on the Arizona ESA program, so I can tell you exactly how it works. And we were on even before Universal because my kids qualified with their learning disabilities. And that's exactly right. We have to upload a receipt into our online portal. It's for every transaction. It's managed by the Arizona Department of Education. They have reports that they run daily that they continue to add security to identify any possible, misspending. They can, within minutes, if they discover something, put a hold on a family's account while they investigate the situation further. I will just tell you, as an Arizona ESA parent, I am so careful. I'm so careful about everything that I do. And that's the case with 99.99% of the parents on ESA. We're thankful for the program, and we would never want to see it go away. So we use our funds just as the law allows.
Jenny, do you have a website or anything that people can tie on to?
Yes, my website is loveyourschool.org. Love Your School is a nonprofit. We've been operating here in Arizona for 7 years. And I just want to let your listeners know, if you yourself or about your grandchildren or anybody that's kind of in your world and they are struggling with their K-12 education, we work as diligently as possible to help families navigate their K-12 school choice options, things like special education evaluations, school searches, getting on Arizona's ESA program, and we'd love to hear from you.
All right. Do you also have, there's a lot of confusion when people are new, like recommendations on, help to get to help curriculum, to help with all those other issues, or any local groups in their area that may be interested in sharing some information?
Yes, absolutely. We have a Facebook group with over 12,000 Arizona ESA families, and we monitor that and work with families when they're looking for everything from, hey, I need some more recommendations for a great science curriculum, or, gosh, I'm wondering about a speech therapist in my area. We help families navigate all of those types of things. So we'd love to help.
Loveyourschool.org. Jenny, I appreciate all you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was... Wait a minute. I accidentally pushed the button for commercial. Let me go to commercial. I'll start that back up. We'll be right back. AM 560.
Since 1905, the Yuma County Chamber of Commerce has been the voice for business in Greater Yuma. Want to stay informed about Yuma's business community? The Chamber connects you with local leaders, business and marketing opportunities, and advocacy that ensures Yuma stays a great place for your business to grow and thrive. Serving all of Yuma and Yuma County, including the Kokopah and Quishan nations, the Chamber strengthens partnerships that move our region forward. Be part of Yuma's business network. Call Valeria or Ashley today at 928-782-2567.
The Desert Lily Annual Quilt Show is coming Friday and Saturday, January 9th and 10th at the Yuma Civic Center with hundreds of beautiful quilts and wearable art items on display. See the special quilt celebrating America's 250th birthday. There'll be items for sale at the country stores and a fat quarter basket drawing. Admission is just $8. Buy tickets for your chance at winning the Love in a Mist quilt. Proceeds to benefit the Hanson House. The Desert Lily Annual Quilt Show, January 9th and 10th at the Yuma Civic Center. Don't miss it.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. It's 7:29. Phone lines are open, 928-344-5258. Phone lines are open. I started at the top of the hour. I was talking about 60 Minutes program. I wasn't paying attention at the time, and I got cut off. It happens occasionally. But they stopped a program that was going to go through the maximum security prison CCOT that's in El Salvador and then interview people that have been through the program who described the experience as brutal and torturous. I guess to put negatives on Donald Trump. And they said they were going to do it later, though. And I think they're cleaning it up. They're going to make sure, I would think, and I'm guessing, that they're going to make sure that there's nothing in there that's going to get them sued, nothing that's misrepresented, nothing that's, I would guess, because maybe they've learned their lesson, that they just do the report. And I think it's great. Do the report. I'm interested. Just make it fair. They did put something in here that, like, one prisoner said, we thought we were already in the well, he was asked, do you think you were going to die there? We thought we were already living dead, honestly, one prisoner. Anecdotal, but I don't know anybody. I guess you could interview anybody from any prison and ask that same question and not get a response that says it was Disneyland at all. Phone lines are open, 928-344-5258. Colorado governor is accusing Trump of playing political games. Yeah, I guess Colorado, that's Jared Polis. He's a Democrat that, and I remember when Colorado was a red state, was conservative, and it's really fallen off that. It's a very liberal state. But he thinks Trump's playing games because they applied for help from FEMA. They requested major disaster declarations because they had wildfires and mudslides in August, and what the governor's calling historic flooding. I don't really recall that. I mean, I'm sure they had some. I mean, I don't think he's making it up. I don't know what the extent is or anything, but it didn't make the news like some of the real disasters that we've seen. He said, and this is the governor saying, Coloradans impacted by the elk and leaf fires and the flooding in southwest Colorado deserve better than the political games President Trump is playing. The two U.S. senators out of Colorado, Michael Bennet and John Hickenlooper, they blasted him. Bennett said FEMA's denial of Colorado's request for federal disaster assistance is unacceptable. Western Colorado communities need help recovering from the historic flooding and wildfires this year. The federal assistance should be available to every state and county that needs it. I will take every available step to appeal this decision. It isn't a game. These are people's lives. Abigail Jackson, she's a White House spokesperson, said, she said, there's no politicization in this thing, in this administration. Trump's responds to each request for federal disaster assistance with great care and consideration, ensuring American tax dollars are used appropriately and efficiently by the states to supplement, not substitute, their obligation to respond to and recover from disasters. Now, Trump has already called for a phasing out of FEMA, that FEMA has not been effective and FEMA is not on the spot like they need to be, not as good at getting the needs out there. And I think they've been criticized for that many times before. And one time, and I can't remember what that was. I don't remember if that was the New Orleans deal where we had the hurricane that wiped out most of New Orleans, or everything below sea level anyway. That they were only helping only Democrats. They weren't helping people that had Trump signs up. And that was and I think it was in New Orleans, but it was an incident. Might have been Florida, but it was an incident. It was real, and it came from supervisors, and FEMA, unfortunately, hasn't been, according to many reports I've read, as effective as they could be. So Trump's been looking at phasing out. Says he wants the states to take more responsibility. States already lead the government response after disasters, but officials may seek federal assistance when the need exceeds what they can manage on their own. And I don't know, how they're going to put that together, like how big the disaster has to be or whatever. But most states, are very quick to pick up the phone, say, send me federal money. I have a fire, including California, that is one of the states. Arizona's been bad too, of not managing, the forest. Of course, a lot of that's federal programs and listening to green people that says we shouldn't manage the forest. We need to leave it alone, leave it to nature. And of course, that makes them burn down, because there's all the trash lays on the ground and trees fall over and rot, and they become kindling. And for years we cleaned all that up, but I think we're starting to get back to some common sense stuff. Maybe, I hope. But right now, Colorado is complaining that Trump is playing games. I don't know. I haven't seen the numbers, but I'm skeptical. I'll be right back.
Forecast for today, clouds and sunshine mixed to the high of 80. And then for tonight, clear and 53, mostly cloudy skies later. And then 70 and cloudy tomorrow, 62 and cloudy on Tuesday night. Wednesday, Christmas Eve, look for partly cloudy skies in the morning, chance of some showers in the afternoon, and a high of 74 on Wednesday.
All right, do-it-yourselfer, you've got the idea, and you got your building supplies at Southwest Lumber.
That's right.
Now, all you need is a bunch of expensive tools to get the job done.
Oh, that's right.
And just the place to rent them. Southwest Lumber, your home for everything home improvement. Southwest Lumber has half-day to multiple-day rentals available on just about anything you need to finish the job. Rent equipment and tools on Saturday and Sunday. It's free. Stop in today at 1917 South Avenue B in Yuma. Southwest Lumber, ready for everything.
Well, it's all fun and games until you're stuck with bad internet. Not so much fun. Say goodbye to bad internet. Say hello to local support from a company that believes in better. Say goodbye to the spinning wheel of doom and the regular equipment rebooting, and say hello to a hassle-free experience. Say goodbye to the internet struggles of yesterday and say hello to a provider that picks our community and provides a product and service that's locally rooted right here in our hometown. Find out more at allofiber.com. That's allofiber.com.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. Phone lines are open, 928-344-5258. Edward just sent me an article out of the Wall Street Journal that says top heritage officials flee to Mike Pence's nonprofit as think tank fractures. Meaning heritage is fractured. I didn't know they were fracturing. And looking at the article, I guess Mike Pence did start an organization, and he's taken some heritage people in that Phyllis lost his ways. And I'll read some to you. But Ben Shapiro, and I heard about this. I didn't read it. Ben Shapiro at the thing in Phoenix, with Charlie Kirk's group, said the conservative movement's in serious danger. And said Vice President J.D. Vance, who represents a different wing of the party than Pence, spoke at the conference on Sunday and whatever. But Pence, of course, had a big breakup with Trump, over the whole authorizing certifying the election results in 2020 and 21, but at the 2020 election. And so he started his own group that wasn't based on populism. So I guess that means you have unpopular programs. I don't know, but he says he's taking away. But these kind of things, and these kinds of things always happen with success. And people say, yeah, we'd even be more successful if we went my way type stuff. And so they get on America Fest, and they were allowed to talk about it, which is good. And J.D. Vance said it was good, even though he was a victim of it from Ben Shapiro, which I really don't understand Ben Shapiro, but I guess I need to look at it a little bit more. But this article said that it had speakers clashing in Arizona over the future of the party, how aggressive it should be in reshaping the world or in shaping the world, what economic policies it should embrace. That's always going on in every organization, and how it handles social issues and who's the next leaders. Well, of course, that's common in all and any organization, political or not. And of course, you think it's fracturing if the majority don't agree with you, I guess, is what that happens. But we want to be able to hold the conservative party together as much as possible to not let it fracture at all. I mean, hopefully hold it together. But you're going to hear a lot more about that, and that's why J.D. Vance addressed it at the thing. But it's kind of normal that we do that. Colorado governor, I already got that one done. Let me see. Comments from John Hickenluther, but I'll skip that. Trump is endorsing a governor candidate for New York. Somebody I've never heard of before. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman. He did that on Saturday. Now, I really didn't understand why Stefanik backed out of that. Elise Stefanik, representative, pretty popular and has ties with Trump, a Trump supporter. And she backed out of the race. And it said that, I read in a comment that she thought maybe she wasn't going to get the endorsement of Trump. But I don't know that there was a disconnect there, or there was some kind of problem between her and Trump. But as soon as she dropped out, Bruce Blakeman jumped in, and Trump threw the support right behind Blakeman pretty immediately. He announced it in a Truth Social, calling Blakeman a highly respected, very popular, praising his record. He said he's running for the next governor of New York. Trump says Bruce is MAGA all the way and has been with me from the very beginning. At Nassau County Executive, he is working tirelessly with the brave heroes of ICE, Border Patrol, law enforcement to keep borders secure, stop migrant crime, safeguard our community, and ensure law and order. Blakeman, who we'll get to know a little bit more, I mean, that's an important seat. He says, I am blessed and grateful to have the endorsement of Donald J. Trump. President Trump is driving down gasoline prices and slashing the cost of prescription drugs, securing our border, and has made America safer. President Trump loves New York, and we will be partnering in making New York safe and affordable. And Trump wrote further on social media, as your next governor, Bruce will continue to fight hard and grow the economy, cut taxes and regulations, promote Made in the USA, champion American energy dominance, strengthen our military veterans, advance election integrity, and protect our always under siege Second Amendment. Yeah, Second Amendment has been under siege, but I think we've had great strides made in the Supreme Court to help shore it up, make sure that it stays strong. Kathy Hochul, who's going to run again. I think this is her second term. She's sick in her fourth term. I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry. Second 4-year term. Second 4-year. It is her second 4-year term. She was a lieutenant governor before that, but I think she's made some terrible mistakes. But I think her popularity's there. I think I think that she's high on the list. The Hochul campaign spokesperson, Serafina Chiteka, Donald Trump endorsed Bruce Blakeman for one reason. He'll put Trump first, New York last. Leave families to foot the bill. Take it from Trump. Blakeman is MAGA all the way. Well, at least she agrees with that. He cheered Trump's expensive tariffs to jack up costs for New Yorkers, for Nassau's safety net hospital into the ground, ran Nassau's safety net into the ground, and stayed silent when Trump slashed nearly $200 million from the New York Police Department. Well, he probably slashed that because of your sanctuary state position and not helping ICE, and a lot of times that federal funds come in because of cooperation. If you don't cooperate, it should be withheld. The Hochul campaign is already spotlighting Blakeman's past electoral defeats. He had a bid in 2010 for the U.S. Senate, lost. 2014 U.S. House, he lost. And recent polls in the 2026 New York race for governor, conducted before Stefanik dropped out of the race, indicates Hochul with large double-digit lead over both her and Blakeman in hypothetical general election matchups. It's been a quarter century since a Republican won a gubernatorial election in New York. The last GOP candidate to succeed then was Governor George Pataki. He was elected his third term in 2002. And I don't think it's a better state since Pataki left, to tell you the truth. I think New York City's not better because Giuliani left. I don't think they've had growth and success, to tell you the truth. I don't think. Trump also wrote, as Nassau County executive. Oh no, I read that one already. About brave heroes of ICE, works with them, the Border Patrol, law enforcement to keep the border secure and all that. We'll see. We'll learn more about Bruce Blakeman. That's a tough one though. I mean, New York's pretty heavy Democrat. Not an easy thing to get done, but we'll take a look and see what he's got over the next few months. We'll be right. Well, I got a phone call. Let me take that first. You're on the air.
Russ, it's Ted again.
Good morning, Ted again.
He's distanced himself from all of them. She abandoned that state. She let a Jew hater become mayor.
Who, Hochul?
Yeah.
Oh,
all of them.
Well, she did.
All of them are coming begging like drug addicts, wanting their fix from the federal government because they let their state down. All of them.
Well, they mentioned the $200 million that they took out of the New York Police Department, and it doesn't say why, but I'm assuming it has to do with their refusal to help the federal agents, and they do get money supplements for that, and they don't do the job, then you don't get the money.
Right, they're drug addicts. They ain't getting their fix, and they're screaming and hollering.
Right.
The lies will start coming. the fictitious reports will be backed by the legacy media. They want to play the game. Well, oh well, you ain't getting your federal funds.
Well, California is going to be, I mean, they're already in such bad shape financially. They're upside down. And they're not going to get money from the feds like they used to. They just kept California alive artificially.
Right.
Because they spend it so fast, so much, all their programs of sanctuary cities, where you can get free sex changes, every immigrant gets free medical care. It's just been crazy. They just give it away like crazy, and then say the feds need to repay us.
Right, drug addicts. They're fiscal drug addicts.
Right. Yeah, I don't know where that's all going to end up, but they're already crippled. Colorado's been screaming, which I didn't know Colorado was in any trouble, and I don't know the extent of their FEMA request, and whether it's unreasonable. But I don't know. I don't know when FEMA should be triggered. I mean, how big of an event before FEMA is triggered? I don't know.
It's just FEMA's just a management bureaucracy.
But they write checks. It's not, they write checks.
Right. Yeah. Well, time to end the checks, just like the school board, federal Department of Schools.
Trump wants to end FEMA, but FEMA has more than just writing checks. They have personnel. They at one time they had tons of like these mobile homes, small mobile homes, temporary shelters, tons of them that were just rotting and stuff. They didn't really get them.
They're still rotting away.
Out fast enough. They weren't helpful. I mean, they spend money on stuff they shouldn't. Trump's looking at trashing the whole thing and putting it on the states with a program of helping, but but not taking the lead. Like just pick up the phone when you need cash.
Right. When Newsom and them first torched California, when they first torched California, I called around to some of the rental companies for RVs and mobile homes and all.
Right.
And asked them, I said, look, is there any way you can help them? And basically it was, well, there's no money in our pocket. But the federal government could have put those funds to those companies that I spoke to and sent some relief into California. You think Newsom did? You think any of them did? No.
No, they look for California. And Trump went and visited California right after the fires. Remember, he sat down with the mayor. He did all that. He said, look, get the permits rolling, get this stuff going, and we'll help and all that. And they haven't done any of it. They're still not building, not in any great extent. Getting the permits near impossible.
Yeah, they haven't even done the permits.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
They're dragging their feet on all of it.
Right. All they're looking for is to get reelected.
Yeah.
He wants to run for president, and the Democrats would be fools to even contemplate putting Newsom in there in that party.
Well, he's not in the polls. The last one I saw had Harris number 1. Anybody else is number 2, and then Newsom.
If you were a Democrat,
right,
God forbid, would you vote for her?
No.
Oh, please give me a break.
No, but
if I was a
But honestly, what is the Democrat thinking? Look, they're looking at Biden as being a successful presidency. They are, and he actually had lost his mind. He couldn't make any decisions, and he let other people run it for him. I think that's what they want out of Harris. You just fill the position and do what we say, and we'll run it.
Yeah, drug addicts. They're drug addicts.
Yeah.
Looking for a fix, their next fix. That's all they are. Right. Until they realize that and accept that as the truth, they'll never fix the party.
Well, I don't think it's there's anybody attempting to reclaim the party right now from the extreme left. I think they're just going more further extreme, and everything's free to everybody, open borders, free medical. We're going to own the restaurants. We're going to own not restaurants, but the grocery stores. Free transportation. I mean, where do they get this from?
When I lived in Montrose, down there along the river in Virginia,
yeah,
there was a Hindu gentleman that had bought the grocery store that was in town before the Food Lion opened up.
Okay,
he ran that like a socialist system in that grocery store. The stuff was in there that was out of date.
Oh gosh,
it stank. It was he got busted for selling alcohol to minors. I mean, they set him up on purpose. You know, the ATS.
Yeah.
They set him up, and he sold to minors. Sold to a drunk who fell down in the street on the way between there and the liquor store, because the liquor store wouldn't sell to him because they knew he was a drunk. He fell down in the street, went in that grocery store, bought some booze from the grocery store, and they busted him straight up.
Wow.
Because he didn't care.
Well, hopefully we don't go down that road. We need to keep making America first. We need to keep educating. We need to keep doing things to promote business and get away from putting people on permanent government subsidies.
Right. Well, all Republicans better watch that Charlie Kirk and Nicki Minaj special over and over again, and go vote and never let them in power again.
You don't want to watch the Mike Pence one?
The who?
Mike Pence. Remember him? He was the vice president.
Yeah, I know. I know who he was.
He's still going after Trump. Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, that's all they have. They have no policy. They have no ethics. They have no fight in this game. None.
Yeah. But dissenting opinion, like J.D. Vance says, needs to exist. It's fine. It's okay. Makes us stronger. That's okay.
Hey, I don't agree everything my father believed in. I don't believe everything that Trump did. I have a mind, though, and I could put it all together and figure it out.
Sure.
And we cannot let these Democrats back into power.
Yeah.
Because they're unholy, Russ.
I think
they are unholy.
I think we've seen more and more in these last few years of the deceit, the anger, the cheating, the lying from the media and stuff. I mean, it's become such a excessive, or so excessive that more and more people have got to see it, even the Democrats themselves. But you talk to Democrats that are lifelong Democrats, and they say, "Yeah, but I don't agree with that. Yeah, but I don't agree." And we're talking about their own party, the things they don't agree with, but they still stick with it and support it. I don't get it. I don't think it's going to continue that way, but we'll see.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Bye-bye. I'll be right back. AM 560.
What's up, Yuma, and hello, Russ Clark Show listeners. Johnny Porter here, and I just made the switch to Allo Fiber, and it's a game changer. Lightning fast speeds for streaming, working from home, and gaming. No buffering or slowed down speeds. It's time to ditch the glitch and switch to Allo Fiber.
Yeah, these politicians are driving me nuts.
So that's what's doing it.
What?
Stop scrolling, man. We're here for some Christmas cheer.
Hey, you know what's on my Christmas list? I'd like one Republican who isn't a sellout.
Okay, Merry Christmas. That's David Schweikert.
Schweikert?
Scottsdale congressman, hardcore conservative, running for governor.
Oh, sure, Schweikert. That guy's a fighter. Helped write and deliver Trump's tax cuts, right?
Bingo. Schweikert stood strong with Trump, and Schweikert's totally uncompromising on illegal immigration, 100%.
Hey, you know, Schweikert must be solid because the libs have been attacking him like forever. They spent millions smearing the guy, and Schweikert wins anyway.
Plus, I'm pretty sure Schweikert knows Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Aha! Well, that settles it. I'm going with David Schweikert for governor, a real conservative.
Paid for by Wynn, Arizona, with 0% from out-of-state contributors. Not authorized by a candidate.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you, and Danny's on the phone. Good morning, Danny.
Hey, good morning again. Hey, I'm going to try this again.
Okay.
Hey, J.D. Vance's speech was awesome, and like I said, the Republican bench is deep. The Democrats have zilch, nothing.
That's the way I see it. They see it differently. They think Harris is wonderful.
Uh-huh. Tell me another one.
Yeah, that's what they think. I mean, that's up to them.
Yeah, well, then they're idiots, Russ.
Yeah.
I mean, did they ever actually hear her speak? She can't say two sentences together.
I think she speaks to them. It's a different language, maybe. She speaks to them. Yeah.
I don't know, but they must know something we don't. But common sense dictates that she's not it.
Well, I think the country sees that, I hope. I mean, she spent $1 billion to get elected. And I didn't read her book. What is it, 107 Days or something, but I didn't read a book. But I don't know who wrote it for her, but I'm not a fan. But I think they'll keep her in the basement and try to elect her like they did Biden.
Well, that's the only way she would get elected is just to shut her up.
I think so. I think she continues to hurt her public image the more she does, but she's still popular and she's been talking a lot and whatever gifts she lacks, it hasn't stopped people from admiring her. There's a lot of them out there for some reason.
That's because she's a novelty.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's more qualified people.
Oh gosh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Russ. It just boggles my mind how these Democrats can be so stupid.
Well, that'll sum it up, man. But I think we just need to keep educating people and keep showing them reality. But little by little, we'll get more support.
Yeah. Okay, buddy.
Thank you, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Mr. Danny out there in the foothills. I'm running out of time. I only got a couple minutes, but I like electric cars. I like the technology. I like what they're doing. And I'll have to get to this tomorrow, maybe a little bit. But in New York, they have a mandate electric school buses, which I think is fine. I think school buses are a good use of the electric buses. I think are a good use of that technology because they can charge overnight and then only go out during the short time that they're being used. But the parents in New York have a problem with it. Let me take a quick phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, Russ.
Yes, sir. I only got a minute, buddy.
Yeah. The Democrats do have a policy. It's the same as a Chinese Communist Party.
You're not.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yes, it is. No. George Soros can transform them into the Democrat National Communist Party. That's what he did. And but George Soros, everybody's hiding from it, but he is, in fact, a British agent. That's where he gets his money.
Yeah.
I'll say that out loud. But the Democratic Party is modeled after the Chinese Communist Party. That's the CCP. Make no mistake about that.
I appreciate the comment, my friend.
You're welcome.
Be good. With that, I'm going to take a break. I'll see you tomorrow. AM 560, KBLU, Life, Death, and Law up next.